Welcome or welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10, guys. My name's Danny Burke. You can follow me on Instagram down there. This is the channel where we take all kinds of weird and wonderful things from all around the world and turn them into a nice little top 10 list so you guys don't have to. And today we've got the top 10 worst jobs part 3. 1, 2, 3. So we've looked at a lot of pretty bad jobs already in our other two parts over here, but there's a lot of other bad jobs out there and they aren't going to present themselves, so we're going to jump right into this with our number 10, the mosquito bite tester. Now in today's modern world, we thankfully have drugs that make people malaria resistant and can even cure the disease if it's caught early on. But these drugs don't come from nowhere. Scientists need people to stick their arms into swarms of mosquitoes to see how good the drug is that they are testing. One researcher called Helge Zieler says that on his best night he got bitten 3,000 times, or an average of 17 per minute for an hour and a half. That job sucks, like literally sucks, but it has to be done for science, which is more than I can say for our next job. In at number 9, it's the customer sales representative. How would you like hundreds of angry people to ring you every single day and shout at you about their problems that you didn't cause? Sound good? Well, become a customer service representative then, because that will be your full-time job. The customers seem to get angrier with every minute they are on the phone to you, and it's your job to calm them down and help, except they see you as the actual devil and they often don't even understand what their own problem is. If all else fails, just tell them to turn it off, then on again. Even if they're complaining about the colour of a jacket they ordered, it will work, trust me. Alright guys, now we're going to take a look at our number 8, and it's a maggot farmer. Yes, you heard me, a maggot farmer. Just like someone has to grow wheat on a farm or raise cows, there are people out there whose job it is to grow maggots on an industrial scale. And guess what? The smell is said to be horrific. Dennis and Pam are two maggot farmers who claim to have somewhere between 5 and 10 million maggots growing on their farm in order to supply the fishing industry with bait. They don't mind the job, but when a film crew visited them, they wore protective gear to stop themselves vomiting at the stench. Time to move on now, guys, before my stomach actually turns. And at number 7, we've got divorce lawyers. Everybody loves a wedding. It's a happy time for all those involved, but years down the road, some marriages come to a very bitter end, with the couple parting ways for good. And surprisingly, nobody wants to be around for that. But divorce lawyers have to be. It's their job. They have to sit in a room with a couple and another divorce lawyer and hear them bicker and argue and fight for weeks and weeks about who owns that Persian rug, or how often they get to see the kids, or who gets to keep the cat. And yeah, you guys get the idea. A divorce lawyer's office sounds like the place where love goes to die. But now we're at number 6, guys, and we've got the bathroom attendant. I really feel for the people that have this job. I don't think it's one that anyone wants to end up in. If you've ever seen someone sitting in a bathroom at bars or restaurants, you'll know who I mean. A bathroom attendant offers to dry people's hands after they wash them, and sometimes they sell candy or fragrances, but it's a pretty thankless job. Their main customers tend to be drunk people in nightclubs who rarely pay them for their services and sometimes verbally or even physically abuse them. So guys, remember next time you see one of these people to give them a smile or even some money, because it could just make their day. But for now, we're moving on to our number 5, which is the groom of the stool. In Old English royalty, the groom of the stool was a servant job whose role it was to assist the king whenever they went to the toilet. The toilet in question, though, was more of a stool that the king would sit on. It was the groom of the stool's job to carry this around for whenever the king needed to go. The groom of the stool had to wipe for the king and then empty and clean the stool of its fresh contents. I think the only good thing I can say about this job is that it doesn't exist anymore. But our number 4 still does, and it's a zit popper. This job falls under the category of an esthetician, who is someone that maintains and improves healthy skin, but perhaps what they're best known for is popping pesky pimples in all their glory. Most people pop their own spots in the comfort of their home, but if someone has acne with huge zits, it's the esthetician's job to pop them and release all that pent up pus. Every time you see one of those crazy, gross, viral videos of someone popping a massive blackhead, that's the work of an esthetician. It's just mental. Up next though, we've got something that my nightmares are actually made of, and number 3 is a leech collector. Right up until the end of the 19th century, leeches were in high demand and were used in all sorts of medical procedures. With high demand comes a lot of suppliers, and people spent their time walking around in ponds collecting the little bloodsuckers to sell to medical professionals. They would use their own legs as bait, and sometimes this would lead to heavy amounts of blood loss. And if this wasn't bad enough, the leech collectors also also face the threat of serious infections by spending their time wading around leech-infested swamps. I just hope the overtime paid well. But let's not dwell on that thought too much, guys. We're going to come right back to the modern era now with our number 2. It's the proctologist. A proctologist is a doctor who is an expert of everything to do with your anus. If you ever have a problem with your backside at some point in your life, you're going straight to the proctologist. It's their job to examine and probe people's to look for any potential problems relating to the colon, rectum, or anus. Although it can often be life-saving work, most people are turned off at the thought of spending every single day poking around the anuses of strangers when you have no idea about their hygiene level. I actually feel a bit uncomfortable now. So we've looked at mosquito bite testers, maggot farmers, and zip poppers, but now it's time for our number 1 worst job, and it's a hazmat diver. You can find a lot of people who enjoy diving. People do it for fun or as a hobby, but you won't find many people who want to dive into toxic sludge that could kill them if they are exposed to it. Well, that's what hazmat divers do every day. Hazmat stands for hazardous materials, and it's the diver's job to plunge deep into toxic and harmful substances for a variety of different reasons. From cleaning septic tanks of feces to clearing oil spills or even fixing radioactive water tanks, these men and women go where nobody else wants to go. They often need to be vaccinated for the jobs that they do, and when they surface, they have to be fully decontaminated before they can return to society. But they do get paid quite well for it, so I guess if you want to make a lot of money swimming around in poo, then a hazmat diver is the job for you. But that's all we got time for, guys, I'm afraid. Which of these did you think was the worst job? Do you know any ones that are even worse? Either way, let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, guys, so you can stay up to date with our daily videos on this channel. 2 of them are floating over there right now, so you can give them a click and watch them if you want. In the meantime, thanks for watching Most Amazing Top 10, guys. My name's Danny Burke. Be sure to follow me on Instagram somewhere down there, and I'll see you very soon.